राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी।
जय 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 गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी।
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रजन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन।
यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी।
यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय राधा माधव राधा माधव, राधा माधव श्री राधे।
जय राधा माधव राधा माधव, राधा माधव श्री राधे।
जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय, गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय।
जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय, गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय।
जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद, प्रभुपद श्रील प्रभुपदा।
जय प्रभुपदा, जय प्रभुपदा, प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा।
जय गुरुदेवा, जय गुरुदेवा, गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा।
जय गुरुदेवा, गुरुदेवा, गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा।
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल।
निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल।
जय श्री राधा माधव भगवान की जय। लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय। गौर निताय की जय। जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। पतित पावन श्रीपाद महाराज की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
ततो जयामुदीरयेत्।
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
भक्ति भवती नैष्ठकी।
Welcome everyone. Today we are going to study this shloka, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 8, Text 21. Dharmaha kvachit tatra na bhut sahridam
धर्म क्वचि तत्र न भूत सौहृदम्
tyagaha kvachit tatra na mukti karanam
त्याग क्वचि तत्र न मुक्ति कारणम्
वीर्यं न पुंसो अस्ति अजवेग निष्कृतम्
वीर्यं न पुंसो अस्ति अजवेग निष्कृतम्
न हि द्वितीयो गुणसङ्गवर्जितः।
न हि द्वितीयो गुणसङ्गवर्जिता
धर्मः क्वचित् तत्र न भूत् सौहृदम्
धर्म क्वचि तत्र न भूत सौहृदम्
त्यागः क्वचित् तत्र न मुक्तिकारणम्।
त्याग क्वचि तत्र न मुक्ति कारणम्
वीर्यं न पुंसो अस्ति अजवेग निष्कृतम्
वीर्यं न पुंसो अस्ति अजवेग निष्कृतम्
न हि द्वितीयो गुणसङ्गवर्जितः।
न हि द्वितीयो गुणसङ्गवर्जिता
Please recite.
धर्म क्वचि तत्र न भूत सौहृदम्
धर्मः क्वचित् तत्र न भूत् सौहृदम्
त्याग क्वचि तत्र न मुक्ति कारणम्
त्यागः क्वचित् तत्र न मुक्तिकारणम्।
वीर्यं न पुंसो अस्ति अजवेग निष्कृतम्
वीर्यं न पुंसो अस्ति अजवेग निष्कृतम्
नहि द्वितीयो गुणसङ्गवर्जिता।
अहि द्वितीयो गुणसङ्गवर्जितः. Others?
धर्मः कचित्तत्र न भूतसौहृदम्
धर्मा क्वचित्तत्र न भूतसौहृदम्।
त्यागाः कचित्तत्र न मुक्तिकारणम्
त्यागा क्वचित्तत्र न मुक्तिकारणम्।
वीर्यं नपुंसो असित अजवेगनिष्कृतम्
वीर्यं नपुंसो अस्ति अजवेगनिष्कृतम्।
नाहि द्वितीयो गुणसङ्गवर्जितः
न हि द्वितीयो गुणसङ्गवर्जितः।
Someone else?
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Dharma kvachitatra na bhuta sauhridam.
Dharmaha kvachitatra na bhut sauhridam.
Tyaga kvachitatra na mukti karanam.
Tyagaha kvachitatra na mukti karanam.
Viryam na pumso asti ajavega nishkritam.
Viryam napumso asti ajavega nishkritam.
Nahi dvitiyo guna sanghavarjitam.
Ahi dvitiyo gunasanga varjitaha. Okay. Word-to-word translation. Dharmaha, religion. Kvachit, one may have full knowledge of. Tatra, therein. Na, not. Bhuta sohridam, friendship with other living entities. Tyagaha, renunciation. Kvachit, one may possess. Tatra, therein. Na, not. Mukti karanam, the cause of liberation. Viryam, power. Na, not. Pumsaha, of any person. Asti, there may be. Ajavega nishkritam, no release from the power of time. Ajaveg. Na, nor. He indeed. Tutiyaha, the second one. Gunasanga varjitaha, completely freed from the contamination of the modes of nature. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Someone may possess full knowledge of religion, but still not be kind to all living entities. In someone, whether human or demigod, there may be renunciation, but that is not the cause of liberation. Someone may possess great power and yet be unable to check the power of eternal time. Someone else may have renounced attachment to the material world, yet he cannot compare to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, no one is completely freed from the influence of the material modes of nature. Please repeat after me. Someone may possess
Someone may possess
full knowledge of religion,
full knowledge of religion,
religion,
but still not be kind
but still not
still
be
not
kind
be kind
to all living entities.
to
to
all
all living
living
entities.
In someone,
In
in
someone,
someone,
whether human or demigod,
whether
whether
he
human
human
or
or
demigod,
demigod,
there may be renunciation,
there
there may
may
be
be
renunciation,
renunciation,
but that is not the cause of liberation.
but that
but
is
that is
not the
not the
cause of
cause of
liberation.
liberation.
Someone may possess great power
Someone may
Someone may
possess great power
possess
and,
great power
and yet be unable
and yet
and
be
yet be
unable
unable
to check the power
to
to
check the
check the
power
power
of eternal time.
of
of
eternal
eternal
time.
So, someone else may have renounced
Someone else
Someone
may
may
have renounced
have renounced
attachment to the material world,
attachment to the
attachment to
material
the
world,
material world,
yet he cannot compare
yet
yet
he
he
yet he
cannot
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 compare
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 to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
to the
to the
Supreme
Supreme
Personality
Personality of
of
Godhead.
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 Therefore, no one is completely freed
Therefore,
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 no
no
one
one
is
is
completely
completely
free
freed
from the influence of the material modes of nature.
from the
from the
from the
influence of
influence of
the
the material
material
modes
modes
of
of
nature.
nature.
Beautiful. Purport. The statement dharma kvachit tatra na bhuta sahridam is very important. In this verse, we actually see that there are many Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, and religionists of other cults who adhere to their religious principles very nicely, but are not equal to all living entities. Indeed, although they profess to be very religious, they kill poor animals. Such religion has no meaning. Srimad Bhagavatam 128 says, Dharma swanishtitaha pumsam vishwakasena kathasu yaha na utpadayet yadiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. Very powerful shloka. Shrama eva hi kevalam. One may be very expert in following the religious principles of his own sect, but if he has no tendency to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his observance of religious principles is simply a waste of time. One must develop a sense of loving Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Mahatma Sudurlabha. The sign of a devotee is that he is a friend to everyone. Suhridam Sarva Bhutana. The sign of a devotee is that he is a friend to everyone. A devotee will never allow a poor animal to be killed in the name of religion. This is a difference between a superficially religious person and a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We find that there have been many great heroes in history, but they could not escape from the cruel hands of death. Even the greatest hero cannot escape from the ruling power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead when Krishna comes as death. That is described by Krishna himself. Mrityuh sarva haraschaham. The Lord appearing as death takes away a hero's so-called power. Even Hiranyakashipu could not be saved when Narsimhadev appeared before him as death. One's material strength is nothing before the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But tomorrow is Narsim Chaturdashi also. So, Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swarupa Damodara Swaminiti Namine Nama Sadbhakta Manaya Manipurudbhavaya Cha Prabhupada Sadvani Prachar Niritayate. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Radha Govind Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you very much. So please bless me, everyone. So here, this principle is, being again elaborated, that Bhagwan, only Supreme Personality of Godhead, is faultless. Faultless. There is absolutely no fault in Bhagwan. Very, very pure. And Arjuna also said, "Na param pavitram, param dhama." Very pure. He is the definition of purity. Purities ensue from him. Ganga is pure because Ganga emanates from his lotus feet. Lakshmi ji is pure because Lakshmi ji resides in his heart, in his chest, bosom area. So purity takes shelter of Bhagavan. And Mata Lakshmi ji is very meticulous, right? Mata Lakshmi ji is many times we say, "Na, Mata Lakshmi is restless." She is not restless. She is a Bhagavati. Bhagavati, the Hladini Shakti of Bhagavan. These qualities like restlessness, they don't occur in her, but she's meticulous. She wants a place, she wants a person which is or who is faultless. So therefore, ultimately she would choose Shiva Narayan only, because Narayan only is faultless. There is one more item which Mata Lakshmi ji chose. Can anyone guess? So when Surabhi cow came, so Surabhi cow, so every demigods, they were choosing one or another spot in the body of Surabhi cow to dwell in their Ansha form. Someone chose Thorn. Please unmute yourself. Please mute yourself. So so someone chose the horn area, someone chose tail, someone chose belly, someone chose eyes. And with their unformed demigods actually reside in the body of cows, Gomata. So Mata Lakshmi, she came late actually. So she was requesting Gomata, where should I reside? So Gomata said, well, you are late. So there is no spot left in my body. So Mata Lakshmi said, no, I want, how can I be deprived of this good fortune? So then, so then Gomata said, okay, no one has chosen my, no one has chosen my dung and urine. So you like to consider that? So Mata Lakshmi ji readily agreed. Oh yes. So cow dung is Mata Lakshmi in Ansh form resides there. Cow dung is also very pure. But here we are talking about the supreme, supra position, absolute position of Bhagwan is faultless, completely faultless, where others, they have one or other faults actually. This is where we should understand the supremacy of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is such a Pavitra Purana. Amal Purana is spotless, faultless, because it is a glorification. It is a faultless glorification of faultless Krishna. So therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is faultless as Bhagwan himself. But like how a milk, if the milk is touched by the snake, then we will not like to drink that milk, do we? Similarly, if we hear Bhagavatam from non-devotees, Mayavadis, then there will be problem. Bhagavatam should only be heard from devotees who understand the essence of Bhagavatam. So there are many people who possess religion, the knowledge of religion, but that's only a waste of knowledge. Because knowledge actually means humility, compassion. If one is not having compassion to other living entities, then what is the use of such knowledge? That is not knowledge. That is only simply information bank of information. Knowledge is symptomized by humility and compassion. So therefore, there are many such pakhandis and even so-called followers of religion. They kill animals. They sacrifice animals. And they give their stupid reasons also to justify that. We remember we went to Gorakhpur naturopathy. So there was this lady who was following one panth, which is very popular. I don't want to take the name of that panth. So she was talking to us. I was there, Anand Shesh Prabhu was there, His Holiness Prajent Kumar Maharaj was there. So she saw the sadhu dress of Maharajis and she started, conversing. She said, well, we also worship Gopal deity, but we offer non-veg. We offer non-veg to the deity because we have been told so. So this is also disgusting, very disgusting. I like to offer something to someone, but what will I like to offer? Only that thing which that someone likes, not the things, not the items which I like. So similarly, in the name of such religion and very concocted emotions, and because heart is a breeding ground of logic, in the heart there is profuse craving for sense gratification, profuse craving for non-vegetarian eating. So logic will also emanate, their logic will, they will say, there are thousands of logic to justify their, and they, not only that, they actually point from Shastras. They say Krishna was also non-vegetarian, Ram was also non-vegetarian. They say all these things. So only to justify their act of their so-called dharma. Dharma is symptomized by bhakti. Bhakti is symptomized by compassion. That is a minimum. Compassion is compassion to our living forms in general. Bhut daya. So no animals should be killed. No animals should be, because the animals are also, they are completing they are on the path of their progression. They're progressing in the path of consciousness. So, so we should not check that path, and we should not, compassion. The difference between kindness and compassion is that compassion is sarvada and sarvatha, unlike kindness. So, Srila Prabhupada ji would shed tears when he saw people enjoying on a sea beach in USA. People were enjoying in the sea beach. They were enjoying, rich people. And Prabhupada ji was shedding tears. And the reason Prabhupada ji gave that, look at their ignorance. They are trying to enjoy without Krishna. So this is compassion. Compassion is for every living entity. And compassion is ample in the spiritual world. Here in the pure devotees, they feel compassion for all jivas, because the jivas are conditioned, we are baddha here. On the spiritual world also, there is this huge flow of compassion there, ocean of compassion. They just feel compassion for one another. In fact, they feel compassion for Bhagwan. Audarya, Mata Yashoda feels compassion. Compassion is another, can be synonym of prem actually. If I don't feed to my baby will become weak. So this compassion is very, very much rampant in the heart of devotees. In fact, devotees are more compassionate than Krishna. That is a level of bhakti yoga. That is a level of Krishna bhakti. They are more compassionate. And here, on the contrary, they are offering non-vegetarian food to Krishna, Titi. What a joke. They're indulging in such kind of acts of killing animals. So that is completely uncalled for. So Mata Lakshmi ji was finding such faults. One by one, she was finding faults, right, in everyone actually, which essentially boils down to the fact that Srimad Narayana is the only faultless person. So here the examples are given that there are these karmis like Shukracharya and Brihaspati. They know the tenets of knowledge, or rather dharma, but they lack compassion. They are not friendly to all living entities. Brihaspati ji is not having compassion for demons. Shukracharya ji is not having compassion for demigods. And Daksha, he is not having compassion for animals. He's offering animals in the sacrifice, sacrificing animals. The dharma is useless. Then they are not interested in liberation. That is a second point is given here. Let me share it back. They may be interested in someone, whether human or demigod. There may be renunciation, but that is not a cause of liberation. There may be some renunciation, tyagaha, but they are not interested in liberation. Why are they not interested in liberation? Because remember, renunciation is also one of the 6 opulences. So they may not be attached to former 5 opulences, but they may get attached to renunciation. Renunciation actually means if needed, we should renounce the renunciation also. So that is the perfection of renunciation, the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, perfection of renunciation. When the renunciation itself is renounced, sarva dharman parityajya. Like for instance, Maharaj Yudhishthir, he renounced speaking lies. So this is renunciation. But when enjoined by Krishna, he could not give up this attachment to this renunciation from speaking lies. When Bhagavan asked him that please speak a lie, that Ashwatthama had been felled, Ashwatthama had died, he had been killed. He could not do that because he was attached to his renunciation. So there are many examples where the devotees, not devotees, people, they are very much attached to their austerities. But because of the austerities, it causes many times a setback to preaching purpose. For example, in our center, let's say, what is the supreme, motto of preaching in a center like this, students preaching? The motto is that we should give love to the students, and students can then take up to the process of Krishna consciousness. So if they see the austere behavior, for example, we don't mix utensils of Jagannathji with our utensils. That is a principle, right? So many times the students, they very enthusiastically, they participate in prasadam distribution. So in prasadam distribution, because they do not know, they are students, they do not know, so they may do some kind of mixing of utensils. And then if the director of the center, if let's say, if I shout on them, what is this? You don't have the basic common sense. Because of the austerity, because of this attachment with the renunciation, in one way with the renunciation, because of the attachment with austerities, too many austerities actually harden the heart. Remember, dear devotees. So I may not have the smooth flow of emotions for them. So my motto is defeated, na? So students will be embarrassed when they hear such scoldings from me. They will be embarrassed, and they may not come next program onwards. So therefore, if in a preaching center, in a temple is a different story. Temple definitely rules and regulations should be followed, but in a preaching center, especially if you're asking the students to participate, then one must be compassionate and one must actually lower down his tempo. He should renounce his, without any hesitation, niyamagraha, no niyamagraha. He should renounce his attachment to austerities. And of course, there is a solution for everything. Whatever utensils have been mixed, they can be re-washed with cow dung. And again, here, see, cow dung has come. It is said that impure utensils, contaminated utensils like this, if they are washed with cow dung, they become once again very, very pure. The bottom line fact is that our renunciation itself may become a problem. And that is definitely a severe problem with impersonalists and these gyanis who renounce everything, but they do not develop attachment to lotus feet of Krishna because they do not develop attachment to devotees. They renounce everything, renounce. And होना चाहिए अनुराग से वैराग्य तक. First attachment, then renunciation. So this is a very, very basic principle that we must converse ourselves with. We must be conversant of. In the preaching center, preaching is the essence. Austerities are not the essence, dear devotees. Preaching is the essence. Krishna is pleased by our preaching endeavor. He's not pleased by our austerity. Austerities won't impress Krishna. So we have to share love, show love with the students, programs, festivals. Sometimes students may come late. They may come, all of them may come at a very spot time when prasadam is being distributed. They won't attend your programs, but on prasadam time, all the students will come. So that time, you have to control your emotions and very softly you can tell them, it will be really nice if you attend our programs also. So these people who are interested in renunciation, and the example is given as Daksha. Daksha is given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakurji. So they give a lot of charity, but they are not interested in liberation. So therefore, the charity is useless. So which means that the interest in liberation is the goal of charity. Is the goal of charity. Similarly, it is said that Shukracharya and others, they have dharma, but they are not having compassion. So their dharma is useless, which means that compassion for other living entities is the essence of dharma, is the goal of dharma, prayojan of dharma. And then there are these examples are given of Hiranyakashipu and by Srila Prabhupada ji, that though they may have a lot of power, but they cannot check the power of eternal time. So therefore their power is a waste. Right? Which means having the great power, what is the goal of having responsibilities and power? Is not only ourselves, is not only to liberate ourselves from this Kal Chakra, but also to help others. If you're not able to do that, then power is waste. So Hiranyakashipu was not able to do that. This is Jeev Maya, dear devotees. Because of the Jeev Maya, all the living entities, they think. All the living entities, not only on this planet, in all the universes, they think that they will not die. Right? So they think that they are eternally situated here. And so therefore they make big plans. They like on power, but they fail terribly because time is really very balwan. Time in no time, it robs them, because time is Krishna only. Krishna robs them of their so-called power and assets. So these demons were also, demons and demigods, one by one, they were also discarded by Mata Lakshmi. And then there are some very wonderful examples given that by Jeev Goswami ji in Priti Sandarbha is saying, one may have dharma like Parshuram, but without compassion for others. One may be charitable like Shibi, but this is not the cause of liberation. Shibi was very charitable, right? Who knows the story of Shibi? Let me. So Shibi was the king, now, who was ready to give his own flesh to that hawk. So there was a hawk who was chasing a pigeon, a dove, and the dove took shelter of Shibi. So hawk said, "You have to give my food to me, because you cannot just be compassionate on him and not on me. I am hungry." So Shibi said, "Okay, you take my flesh, as much as is the weight of that dove." So he was giving his flesh, but the dove's weight was increasing, but because I think that dove was no one else but Indra only. So in this way, Shibi and many people, they are very much interested in giving charity, but they are not interested in uh, you know renouncing their own material affinity. The example given is Ji Goswami is saying, one may have power like Kartavirya, but they cannot stop time. Then they all have may have qualities, but those qualities are all made of Maya, and so therefore they cannot be called as Nirguna, because Mukunda only is free of association with the gunas. Thus Atma Ramas like Kumaras are also excluded, since their Sham and Dam were material. Kumaras were also excluded. And Shiva is also excluded. Shiva is excluded because Shiva is also Gunasanga Varjita. This sloka is this, what is that? Gunasanga Varjita means Shiva is also not freed from the contamination of the modes. So therefore, the two slokas which Jiva Goswami ji is sharing, I like to share with you also. They are ten 88:3. शिव शक्ति युक्त शश्वत त्रिलिंगो गुण समृतः वैकारिकस तेजसश्च तामसस चेति अहम त्रिधा. Sri Sukadeva said, Lord Shiva is always united with his personal energy, the material nature, manifesting himself in three features in response to the entreaties of nature's three modes. He thus embodies the threefold principle of material ego in goodness, passion, and ignorance. And in 1088.5, the faultless, transcendental to the modes nature of Sri Hari is given. Harir hi nirgunaha sakshat, purushaha prakrite paraha, sasarvadrig upadrishta, tam bhajan nirguno bhavet. Lord Hari, however, has no connection with the material modes. He is a supreme personality of Godhead, the all-seeing eternal witness, who is transcendental to material nature. One who worships him becomes similarly free from the material modes. So Mata Lakshmi, she was like finding all such dosha in everyone, but in Bhagwan Sri Hari there is no dosh because Bhagwan Hari has got no connection with the material modes. Is transcendental to the material modes. Material modes actually emanate from him. He's transcendental, so his qualities are faultless. Whereas the qualities in others like Kumaras and Bhagwan Shankar and all others, us, they are all material. On account of their being material, they cannot be called as faultless. I think that could be one difference between material and spiritual. Material means there will definitely be some fault. Whereas in the transcendental Krishna, in the spiritual world, there is no fault at all. All right. So I think I'll stop here and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Any devotees, any question, please raise your hand.
So one thing that Bhagwan Sri Hari is completely faultless, very pure. So we then therefore can get we can imagine how much purity we ourselves need. Srila Prabhupada in many places has said that if we have to meet the supreme purest Krishna, then we ourselves have to be very pure. So purity here means that uh, one must there's disturbance. One must very cautiously, enthusiastically, and meticulously, he should follow his sadhana and seva. He should not offend any devotees, and he should always give priority to Guru Maharaj seva. That's way, those ways, the purity is sufficiently ensured. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. There is a question by Maitre Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji.
प्रणाम प्रभु जी, दंडवत।
Pranam Maharaj ji.
तो माँ लक्ष्मी अभी पति का आश्रय का इंक्वायरी ढूंढ रहे हैं, लेकिन इतना ऐश्वर्य, इतना सभी इंद्र ब्रह्मा जी सभी माँ लक्ष्मी का आश्रित होते हैं, लेकिन आश्रय उनका कृपा आशीर्वाद के लिए तरस रहे हैं, लेकिन माँ लक्ष्मी भी और दूसरे का आश्रित हो रहे। लेकिन आजकल हम लोग देखे हमारा सोसाइटी में माता जी लोग सर्व स्वतंत्र चाहते हैं, आश्रित अनुगत स्वीकार करने को तैयार नहीं है। तो आप उसको केंद्र करके क्या कहना चाहोगे?
एक्चुअली कोई भी जीव जो है स्वतंत्र हो नहीं सकता है, माता जी हो या प्रभु जी हो। तो आइडियल गृहस्थ सिस्टम ये होता है कि माता जी जो है प्रभु जी को, अपने हस्बैंड्स को सर्व करें, वो हस्बैंड्स प्रभु जी हैं गुरु महाराज को सर्व करें, गुरु महाराज अपने गुरु महाराज को सर्व कर रहे हैं, वो अपने गुरु महाराज को सर्व कर रहे हैं। तो इस तरह से यही स्वतंत्रता है वास्तव में जीव की, सेवा करना। क्योंकि ये जो सो कॉल्ड आजकल जो चल पड़ा है फ्रीडम मूवमेंट, ये गुणों के अधीन है। मैं स्वतंत्र स्वतंत्र हूँ, जो ऐसा कहता है समझ लेना चाहिए कि वो सबसे ज्यादा अस्वतंत्र है, अधीन है पूरी तरह से गुणों के, इसलिए वो ऐसा बोल रहा है या बोल रही है। कोई भी जीव स्वतंत्र नहीं है। सबके सब माया के वश में है। तो हमको ये प्रिंसिपल समझना चाहिए कि केवल माता जी ही नहीं, प्रभु जी भी, कोई भी स्वतंत्र नहीं है। स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में कोई भी डिसीजन जो है बिना गाइडेंस के नहीं लेना चाहिए। सीनियर्स को फॉलो करना चाहिए, उनसे उनसे डिस्कस करके डिसीजन लेना चाहिए। वो जो डिसाइड करे वो करना चाहिए। भक्ति का मतलब ही होता है कि अपने सो कॉल्ड मैटेरियल स्वतंत्रता का त्याग करके भक्तों के शेल्टर में रहना, भक्तों के अधीन रहना। ये अधीनता ही वास्तव में जीव का स्वरूप है, सरेंडर। तो इसलिए पहले जो थे प्रभु जी लोग ही जो है पहले के समय में, वही लोग ही जो है गुरु महाराज की शरण लेते थे। माता जी लोग नहीं लेते थे कि वो इम्पेरेटिव था कि माता जी लोग प्रभु जी को अपने हस्बैंड्स को सर्व करें, जो कि ऑलरेडी गुरु महाराज को सर्व कर रहे हैं। वो वो माता जी इज ऑलरेडी एज गुड एज एफ शी हैज बीन इनिशिएटेड। अलग से कुछ इनिशिएशन की आवश्यकता नहीं है। लेकिन और अगर लेना भी है तो सेम स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर से लेना चाहिए, या वो जो कि अ, जो कि मतलब या उन्हीं की, अगर स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर नहीं है तो वो जिनको नियुक्त करके गए हैं उनसे लेना चाहिए। तो अभी देखते हैं हम लोग कि प्रभु जी ने किसी और से इनिशिएशन ले रखा है, माता जी ने किसी और से इनिशिएशन ले रखा है, और दोनों में जो है कई जगह देखा जाता है ऐसा। दोनों में जो है ये मैं भी डिवोटी हूँ, आप भी डिवोटी हैं, मैं भी डिवोटी हूँ, मैं भी अलग से डिसीजन ले सकता हूँ, ले सकती हूँ। तो ये कुछ कुछ मैंने देखी है एबनॉर्मेलिटीज एक्चुअली। अगर प्रभु जी ने एक स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर से दीक्षा ली है तो जो वाइफ है उनकी, अगर वो कृष्ण भक्ति में इंटरेस्टेड हैं तो उन्हीं स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर से दीक्षा लें। और अगर ना भी लें तो भी इट इज एज गुड एज, वो अपने हस्बैंड की ही सेवा करती हैं अच्छी तरह से, और हस्बैंड गुरु महाराज की सेवा कर रहे हैं तो उनको भी वही बेनिफिट मिलेगा, इसमें कोई संदेह नहीं है। यही कहना है मुझे महाराज जी। हरे कृष्ण महाराज जी, आप कुछ ऐड करना चाहते हैं?
हाँ
महाराज
प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम। लेकिन कलयुग का स्वतंत्रता है, माता जी लोग भी स्वतंत्र दिया गया, माता जी लोग मानेंगे नहीं, ये भविष्यवाणी है, शास्त्र प्रमाण दिया। तो इसी कारण विशेष करके जैसे आप वर्णन किए, पति पत्नी एक ही गुरु महाराज से आश्रित होकर के सेवा करेंगे तो हम लोग आगे बढ़ सकते हैं।
हाँ, कलयुग हो लेकिन कुछ एक चीजों में कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं कर सकते ना,
हम्म।
क्योंकि कॉम्प्रोमाइज करते करते ही जो है हम लोगों का वो जो एसेंस है हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का, अगर कॉम्प्रोमाइज ही कर लेंगे तो सिर्फ बिल्डिंग ही रहेगी, उसके अंदर का एसेंस नहीं रहेगा कुछ भी। वास्तव में कोई भी जीव स्वतंत्र नहीं है। इनफैक्ट आगे चल के हम देखते हैं कि भगवान भी स्वतंत्र नहीं है एक्चुअली, भक्तों के अधीन ही रहते हैं, भक्त वत्सल। परम स्वतंत्र होने के पश्चात भी भगवान भक्तों के वश में रहने का ही अपना परम आनंद मानते हैं।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा।
थिंक देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन फर्दर।
ओके, तो कंक्लूड करेंगे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
जय
जय जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। पतित
जय
पावन श्रीपाद महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि
जय
वैष्णव वृंद की जय जय जय।
जय।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।